You know, with the announcement on Monday, and I talked about this yesterday in the audio video, and I mentioned it today in my two-part video where I asked the question of what is WWE trying to do. Well, after getting a little bit more information, it seems WWE is going to go the route of unification. Basically, according to WWE, according to numerous sources, there's an interview up on WWE.com that's going to be uploaded on YouTube later. Well, Triple H basically says that they want to have one undisputed champion. That because the brand extension is no more, it's time to go back to having one champion. Now, a lot of people pretty much still stand behind the fact that even though that's been announced, and even though that seems like the direction they want to go in, again, I stand by what I said in the fact that I believe this whole title for title unification match, whatever you want to call it, is being done. The reason it's being done is because they want to draw attention back to the product. They want to regain that viewership. They want to regain those buy rates. They want to regain those ratings and stuff that they have lost over the past few months. And the best way to do it, whether we like it or not, is to put the two biggest names of the Universe PG era, if you will, in a match with both championships on the line. To determine one champion, who is the true face of the company. So you have the WWE title. Now this is not the new one. This is the previous one. But you have the WWE title and you have the World Heavyweight title hanging above. Now it would be great if both one man got them and became the champion, became the undisputed champion. That would be great. But already, again, people are figuring out what could be, and that is this championship, which is Randy Orton's, is going to get taken down by John Cena, and this title, which is John Cena's, is going to get taken down by Randy Orton, thus setting things back to the way they were before. Now, again, that's a possibility. That's a strong possibility that a lot of fans are looking at. But you see, there's a strong possibility a lot of fans are looking at, and here's why. Some would look at it as the fact that, on a negative standpoint, it closes the door for a lot of up-and-coming superstars. And that was my dog there. I apologize for that. But it opens the door. Well, not opens the door, but it shuts the door on a lot of potential up-and-comers to nab that world title and cement the spot in the company, or at least establish that they're worthy of being world champion. Now that's a negative in the eyes of some, but the positive in the eyes of some as well, because it's kind of a 50-50 deal. The positive is if we end up having one undisputed champion, one WWE champion, and yes, this is the classic title. But if we end up having one undisputed WWE champion, the positive, and I look at this as a positive, is it opens the doors for the other championships to become more prestigious again, to be taken more seriously as they were in the past. So, for example, the positive of having one champion, if they do decide to do the one champion deal finally and just have one champion, the positive is you could have a championship like this, the United States title, which is currently held by Dean Ambrose, and this could open the doors for this title to become prestigious again. You could have those that would normally be in that world title hunt, that world heavyweight title hunt, and they could finally start going after this and say, you know what, I want to be United States champion. And there you go. It opens the doors for other stars to come out and say, hey, let's, get booked into a situation to where it would be like, hey, You want to be champion? Fine. But you're going to have to be United States champion. And I'm sure some superstars wouldn't have a problem with that, because with a certain superstar holding this belt, it brings the prestige of this championship up. It brings this prestige of this championship up a few notches. I mean, for example, imagine somebody like, say, who? Let's see. Imagine somebody, I'm trying to think here. Imagine somebody like, I hate to say this, imagine someone like CM Punk holding this belt. Just the name value of CM Punk right across here, and him being United States champion, says a lot. Him holding this belt says a lot. And it's the same for this championship as well. Now this is an old championship, I guess you could say the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era championship version of the Intercontinental title. And it's currently held by Big E Langston. Now imagine the value and prestige of this championship going up if it, let's say, it gets held by somebody like, say, a Daniel Bryan, maybe a Sheamus. Who else? Maybe one, well, not one of the, well, maybe the Wyatts, but more so someone like a Sheamus, maybe a Daniel Bryan, again, maybe even a CM Punk. Imagine the prestige of this, even a Big Show, if you will, because he's held it before too. But imagine the prestige of the Intercontinental title going up a few notches by somebody that you wouldn't think would hold it, or being Intercontinental champion. Imagine the prestige of this championship going up just that much, with somebody coming out of the blue to hold it. Imagine that. Now I know you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Brian, if that happens, what happens to those that are synonymous with the Intercontinental title right now, or synonymous of being in the hunt for the Intercontinental and the United States titles? Well, one of the reports that I read about a week or two ago is that WWE plans on making 2014 a tag team heavy year. So what does that tell you? Well, if they decide, again, like I say, to have one champion, to really actually go through with it and unify both belts into one at TLC, and not do what many fans are predicting they're going to do, and that's have a swapping of the belts. What it does to the tag team division is it makes the tag team division even more prestigious. And that's, again, just like with the Intercontinental and U.S. titles, makes the tag team division and the tag team titles even more prestigious in the long run. Now this here, of course, is the Raw, Monday Night Raw tag team titles, when they had two separate tag team champions. But again, it opens the door for the tag team division to prosper and grow. Because not only do you have potential good tag teams up and coming up in NXT, like the Ascension, if you will, but you also have a lot of superstars here on the main roster that can benefit from being in a tag team. Take a look at R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods just came up. What do you do with him? Well, you look and say, well, he could go singles, but let's instead put him with R-Truth and make a tag team. Same thing with Big E and Mark Henry. Right now, Mark Henry originally was supposed to face Randy next. Things changed, and they said, you know what, let's put Big E and Mark as a tag team. And they'll probably do the same thing with Ryback and Curtis Axel. See, you got all these potential for tag teams out there. You know what I'm saying? You got Santino and Great Khali as a tag team. You got Los Matadores as a tag team. Get what I'm saying? You got all these potential openings for in the tag team division to help rebuild it. And the positive is you could take some of the you could take some of the low, mid, and upper mid card talent and low main event talent, if you will, or mid-main event talent, you could take those talents and you could put them together as a tag. Take a look at what they're trying to do with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan for right now. They're trying to put them as a tag team called the Best in the Beer. Well, what does that tell you? It tells you the positive possibilities of WWE actually going through on the promise, on the word, and unifying both the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships into one. You see what I'm saying? If they follow through on it. Because, again, if they follow through on it and they take these two championships here, and unify them into one championship, the possibilities, the positive possibilities coming out of that is you put more prestige back on the United States title, the Intercontinental title, if you will, put more prestige back on these belts. You open the door for some semi-main event guys, upper mid-card, low main event, and mid-main event guys to go after these championships and have them mean something once again. Have them mean something once again. And again, the other positive is you open the door for the tag team division to prosper again. Because like I said, not only do you have up-and-coming tag teams down in NXT like the Ascension, the possibility of the American Wolves or Pit Bulls, whatever WWE wants to call them. You know, not only do you have that possibility, but you also have the possibility of forming new tag teams in the WWE, which has already been shown. We've already seen new tag teams being created. We've seen tag teams coming together. Take a look at last year. They didn't know what to do with Brodus Clay and Tenzai. So what did they do? They put them together as a tag team and made them tons of funk. Take a look at Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. They didn't know what to do with them. They didn't really know what to do with them, so what they do, they put them together as a team, as a stable, as a faction. And it worked. Take a look at who they brought up. They brought up the Wyatt family. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Bray Wyatt. Take a look at who they brought up even before that. The Shield. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. I mean, WWE has the talent pool right now. Oh, they have the talent pool right now to help their tag team division prosper. And that's a positive. You could take someone like, say, an Alberto Del Rio, and you could team him up with somebody on the roster that he would have a lot in common with, and you could make a tag team there. The only problem is, who would he get along with? Oh, how about Damien Sandow? Del Rio and Sandow would make a great tag team. They both have similar ethics, similar, characteristics, and that would be great. Look what they've done with Cody and Goldust. Yeah, it was obvious they were going to be a team anyway, the brothers, but still, boom. See what I'm saying? And this is going to help that division. The positive possibility of a unified, undisputed WWE champion is going to be positive for the divisions I've mentioned. It is. I know it's hard to believe, but it will be. It's even going to be more prosperous and more positive for the NXT divisions. It's going to be more positive for the NXT divisions. You know why? Because it's going to open the door for a lot of those up-and-comers that are training in the Performance Center, that are being signed off independents or whatever, that are being trained as homegrown WWE stars and divas. It's going to open up the door for them to compete for the NXT tag titles in the NXT championships. It's going to do that. That obviously is the goal. That's the goal. Whether or not WWE follows through on that in a few weeks at TLC is up to them. But these are the positives that I see, the possible positives of having one champion. Because it's going to trickle down. The effect of having one champion is going to trickle down, and it's going to open up the door for all those divisions that I've mentioned. Again, imagine a Sheamus, or imagine a CM Punk or Daniel Bryan holding this and defending it. Imagine that. The same with this. Imagine a CM Punk, a Daniel Bryan, a Sheamus holding this and defending it. And we're not just talking in short-term stuff, long-term stuff. Those are the possibilities, the positive possibilities. Now I know you're thinking, well, what about the negatives? Well, I mentioned a major negative, and the major negative would be you'd be shutting the door on those that have been associated with the World Heavyweight Championship and having it help them elevate to that next level or cement their spot in the company and prove that they are true main eventers, true superstars. But that's the thing. And that's the thing though. Even though that's a negative, it opens the door still for them to explore other areas in the WWE. Yeah, WWE is making decisions that don't make sense. Don't get me wrong. Watch my 2-part video, and you'll know what I mean. You know, they're making decisions that you don't know what they're trying to do, what they're thinking. But still, if they follow through on this, if this is the one thing they follow through on, even if it is too soon, even if it should have been waited till WrestleMania, but if this is one thing they want to follow through on, and they follow through on it, the possibilities are positive. They will trickle down. The effects will trickle down in a positive way. The negative is a lot of people associated with the world title that use the world title as that to cement their legacy in the company, to cement their spot in the company, you know, to put themselves on the map. Yeah, it's going to close the door on them from ever getting another shot, but it's going to open the door for them to go into other areas. Take a look at Jack Swagger. Yeah, he may not have been the best world champion they had. You know, don't get me wrong about that. He may have not been the best world heavyweight champion they had, but look what they've done with him. They were going to give him another monster push and possibly another run with the world title until he screwed up. But still, even despite that, let's say that never happened, which it did, but let's say what happened earlier this year never happened. They probably still would have put Jack Swagger in a tag team with Antonio. And that's what they did. I mean, look, Antonio was a fighting United States champion for quite some time. And what happens? After he loses the belt, they don't know what to do. People think, oh, they don't know what to do with him, right? Oh, they knew what to do. They said, you know what? People still like Antonio. He still has some potential. Let's put him in a tag team. And that's what they did. And some of you might look at that as a negative, but it's a positive because it helps build that tag team division up. It brings more prestige to people wanting to pursue the tag team titles. And that's the other positive about this. Yes, the negative is a lot of people that would potentially have a shot at being world heavyweight champion, and that being the first world title. Yeah, that door is going to close, but in the long run, it's going to be a positive. It's a negative that's going to be turned into a positive. Again, like I said in my 2-part video, there are a lot of things WWE's done that makes you wonder what the heck are they thinking, what the heck they're trying to do. But still, if this is one thing they follow through on, and they don't swerve us, they don't say, okay, we're just going to swap belts, or we're going to have a draw, or something like that. If they follow through on this, it's going to be a positive effect on the entire WWE, all the way down to NXT, all the way down to the Performance Center, and those training to come up to NXT. That's the possibilities. Those are the positive possibilities. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below, video response if you like, but let me know what you guys think about this. These are just my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to hear from you guys. I'd like to hear from the Off the Rope Show about this. I'd like to hear from Chase Oliver about this. I'd like to hear from Trio Woe. I'd like to hear from the Wrestling Gurus. Anybody. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care.